There are no islands within range. Rumpled convolutions of coral fill the water, glimmering with silvery light. The harder you look, the more you see shapes amid the chaos, almost as if they were sculpted. This one could be a granulated castle, that one a horse's head. A neat little port huddles into the side of a coral island. Prosaic imperial docks and houses tucked away in a baroque organic chaos. In that curious silvery light among the frozen chaos of coral, the scene has the unreal air of a pencil sketch crumpled and discarded. Chess is popular in the Principles. The port is full of exiles, drunks, and washed-up sea trailers. Be careful, the chess pieces are carved from shintalac here in the Principles. They could be very dangerous. One more game. You don't know how long you've been playing. You won a match. Another. The rough coral tips of the chess pieces are smeared with blood. Yours. Your opponent's. But you have begun to realize that your moves recapitulate the movements of the powers of the Neath, the flukes and the shapelings, the bazaar that lurks in London, Mount Nomad that prowls the sea. Salt. Stone. Storm. With every move you take, the shape of it becomes clearer in your mind. Sharper. Checkmate, you say. One more game. Your first officer is tugging at your arm. Ignore them. You have chess to play. Win enough games, something will occur. The opening moves, you've gained 1 secret. New total 2. You've succeeded in a pages challenge. The higher the quality, the higher the chance of success. You've gained 1 pages. A very modest challenge. Do it again. Odd thought, a disciplined success. Odd thoughts bubble up each time you touch a chess piece. This one longs for home. That one has a secret desire for revenge against the slayer of its rank mate. This will be a queen one day. Those would do better as metal. You taste the metal. You ignore those thoughts and move methodically to a victory over your opponent. He blinks. Checkmate, he asks helplessly. Win enough games and something else will occur. Initial gambits, you've gained 100 fragments. Succeed in a pages challenge. Gain 1 pages. A tough challenge. Chess is popular in the Principles. I already knew that. Distraction. I failed, okay. You don't often look at chess pieces. Not really look. The bishops with their hooks, the knight with its mane and teeth, the kin and cream with white mangled with red, the roots that pin the corner of the beard down to keep you safe from your opponent. You lift a paw to toy with it. Touch its velvety pads. Checkmate, your opponent says. She grins. Look too closely, did we? You need to be careful with shintalac chess pieces. Her face is blank and white as the dome of a chess pawn. Get out. Get back to the ship until the waking dream of the coral clears. You've gained 5 terror. You've gained... Oh, so they're like weird hallucinogenic ones. I need to come back. 40% chance of success. Explore the coral knoll. Something awaits you is nothing. Sea laps dark around silvery coral. Humps and columns rise from the coral, a bewildering maze. Go carefully. Someone has carved a sinuous shape into the jumbled limestone of the reef. A light grows in the far southwest. It begins like a distant bonfire, but very rapidly it becomes brighter. Brighter. It looks remarkably like sunrise. Some of your crew fall to their knees, others duck behind cover or shield their eyes. One cries, "Dawn machine waking!" Okay, I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means. Take cover, keep your eyes on the ground. This is something uncanny. Very modest challenge. Look around you, not directly at the light. Anything like sunlight is rare down here. What will you see? Look into the light. That's a very bad idea. Curiosity is deadlier than any number of sharks. I'm going to look on the ground. All the colors. All the colors rise in the rocks, the water, the crystal veins of the roof. The undersea is a rich, grassy emerald. The faces of your crew flash clear and strong. You've seen nothing like it since you left the surface. In this place it is utterly wrong. The light fades suddenly. Men and women cry out, curse. One weeps. I've gained terror. You have one memory of distant shores. Yeah, we're not done here. Gather intelligence. I started to read the wrong thing. Chest dream silver light. The older inhabitants of Port Cecil carry coral incrustations like a disease, splotched with silvery light. They like to go into the limestone heights behind the harbor to lay their heads against the pillars and towers. Stare at the roof of the Neath. Dream, open-eyed. Sometimes they speak of things far away. The Connaughts' work, the smuggler wars, the Fathom King's secrets. Perhaps it's not all invented. So now I have a port report. I feel stupid. I feel as if I could eventually win this. I did win! I won! You don't know how long you've been... Oh, I did win. Developments. Principles end. Principality, the oral exchange, and you got 3 secrets. Succeeded in a pages challenge. Okay. High risk challenge. I don't think I'm going to win there. Pursuing justice and the principles. I don't think there's any chance of me winning anytime soon with 28%. So there is a point where I'm going to bend to reason and... See, we were trying to find the Sea of Lilies. Let's do so. Down. There we go. This game is a little quiet, and I think there is a point where that's what it's going for. Oh, I can't... That is a giant shark. Yeah, I don't want to do that. That sounds like a really bad idea. Aphotic quills. Increase my hearts. Ah, that's kind of shit. I think the secrets are better used elsewhere. But those pretty much can be used as skill points with the right people. Hump and shapes in the deck rail. Ratsy air and bolden vermin. Distant bells. Garrick's scalpel. Rat barge. Crew 15. I will not survive that fight. All clear. I don't want to be attacked by rats. No! Skylar's End. Oh, it's a giant statue! Nuncio. Nuncio. I don't think we're gonna fight them. That seems retarded. They are way stronger than me. I think. I'm not 100% on that. McMaster's Haven. Do not return, sender! Okay. Taciturn functionaries block the docks in the uniforms of postmen. And the inky blotter it's called. The sign doesn't look like much. Warmer inside than it looks. Faces turn in your direction, but no one seems surprised to have a new arrival on the island. Cultivating no more than 3. Ooh! The postman! Listen in on postal tall tales. Lit by 2 roaring fires, one at either end of the room, the bartender is in postman's uniform, like almost all the patrons. A noseless postal inspector called Blunt Thomas delivers the drinks, clears the tables, and stacks the firewood. Listen on. Fishermen brag about fish that got away. Postmen brag about hard deliveries. Amazing what you get for a penny stamp. Delicate bottles lowered down chimneys on a rope. Do not fold under any circumstance. Letters curled through a narrow slot. Rattling, groaning crates brought back to the same address every day for 22 days running. The windows they pried open, the servants they bribed, the delivery surcharges they paid out of their own salaries just to get rid of one more packet. It is hard to tell what they hate more, the senders of mail or the recipients. Stands to reason, if the message was a welcome one, they'd tell the other fellow in person, reflects the hireless postwoman. We now have one newcomer times Nucio cultivating friendships with postmen. Ask why the local currency consists of rats. 2 strings of rats for a pint of ale, 3 strings for wine, 5 for the tolerable brandy under the bar. Scarcity is not an issue. The hairless postwoman at the end of the bar smiles mirthlessly. Or maybe it's just the lack of eyebrows that does it. Long enough carrying the things around, you get into the habit, she says. Then she tells you that if you stay out late enough, you'll see some of the postmen making a procession to the center of the island, stringing up rats around the statue like Yuletide decorations, in prayer to an ancient deity of this place. From the coughing and choking elsewhere in the pub, you'd guess this is a story they often tell the newcomers. Ask why she's hairless. Legacy has some interestingly explosive package, maybe? That'd be too easy. I don't think that's it. Lit by 2 roaring fires, one at either end of the room. The bartenders and... Oh, I already did that. No, she says. Curt, not yet pleased, you asked. Still had eyebrows when I came to Nucio. The postman at the next bench diverts you, speaks in a low voice. Lots of people find habits when they can't deliver the post anymore. This one is a plucking habit. Best learn not to notice. You glance up. The hairless postwoman is still glaring at you. Oh, I lost one. Ooh. So we don't do that. Ask about the big statue at the center of the island. If there were a guidebook for visitors, it would have to be the first entry. Oh, that! It's all of us, isn't it? Sort of the spirit of the island. Most of them don't seem trouble for more of an explanation than that. Through the hairless postwoman tells you it didn't always look like a fallen London postman at all. It used to have a different face and a more old-fashioned outfit. You gained one. Okay, I'm a newcomer. More tall tales. More than 3. Ask how they occupy themselves all day. There must be more than this. Big building, center of town, hard to miss. You can work there too if you want. It's not clear whether this is a generous offer or a threat. Accepted by the locals, and a current Nucio worker in dead letters quality is now 1 invited to serve. Ask to borrow a uniform. If you're to fit in here, you'll need one. Look, but not touch. They're polite, even apologetic about your request. You're welcome here, and welcome to take shifts at the dead letter office, but you cannot wear the uniform unless you were a postal employee back in fallen London. Regulations. Blunt Thomas lets you have a look at his uniform jacket, at least. Neat stitching, gilded buttons, a thin but dignified circle of braid at the collar. Inside, a patch that goes over the heart, stitched with 6 red letters. You can't read it, but it makes your eyes itch and your scalp feel like burning. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Back to the docks. Okay. Explore along the beach. There's a long stretch of shale, dotted with washed-up kegs and barrels and smaller flotsam. The rocks slip and slither underfoot, but you keep your balance. Like material for the dead letter office. Will of its own. You make your way along the shore with a big sack. Many of the envelopes are too damp to read, their addresses permanently lost, but a surprising number are still legible. There are also parcels. Here and there is a crate, a message in a wine bottle, a sealed cask that is bobbed up out of a shipwreck. Your sack ought to be heavy with all these contents, but it pulls upwards and away, straining inland towards the dead letter office like an unmanageable dog. You now have 1 dead post. Occurrence, your Nucia learned postal secrets quality is now 2, familiar with the pull. That's interesting. Rescue a squishy parcel. Accepting no further, says a red squall across the wrapping. A little wonder, the string of rats within may once have been fresh and to certain tastes delectable. It is now rather worse for decay. Giving the parcel's contents a hefty burial is the best you can hope to do. Just before you dispose of it, though, note the recipient's name and address. A name of some power worth remembering. Okay. Study the odd currents here. A tough challenge. Your pages quality gives you 33. Let's go back to the dead letter office, since I'm a mailman now, apparently. You make your way along the shore with a big sack. Oh, I am 2 now. It hasn't changed because it's higher than 1. Back to the docks. Let's go here. Extensive tour. Blunt Thomas takes you around the office, a small collection room where these retrieving letters may state their business. A much larger sack of black offices where newly arrived letters and parcels are collected and sorted. A dank, briny smell that never goes away, presumably because so many of the parcels spent time in the water before they arrived here. In the back room is a machine manned, ratted, by a postal rat. A Ratus Faber in a pinstriped hat. I remember you could talk to that guy. There's Ratus Fabers in Fallen London in the other game, too. It shovels sludge-damp letters into the machine's hopper, and they come out dried, cleaned, pressed, and sorted into slots by size and quality of paper. You're now working shifts. The postal rat. It's kind of cute. One is just various possible occupations here. None can be described as fast-paced. Feed your undeliverable letters into the sorting machine. Not that good. Converse with the postal rat. Why doesn't it make a machine like this one back in London? Might lead to fewer dead letters in the first place. Oh, no. That wouldn't be permitted at all. There are strict rules about the initialing and handling of post. An experimental machine might mangle the letters. It's only the dead material that is unimportant enough to entrust it to a Ratus Faber. His voice isn't bitter, but he twists a coil so hard that it springs sideways out of the machine and pings off your shoe. I am now trusted. Ask the postal rat for a key to the basements. There are doors in the dead letter office that you've never seen open. Surely you can be trusted? No trouble at all. Don't be surprised. He's surprised by the request. Most postmen don't like it down there. No one ever asks for a key, but he'll cut you a new one. Just be careful in there and don't come out if you start to feel wrong. Authorized for back room access. I want to go in the back room. Deep and deeper. You would expect a few shelves of supplies, more files of letters a few years older. No, it is a pit, so deep that lantern light does not show the bottom. A spiral walkway descends along its wall, and that spiral opens wider as it goes, as if you were looking through the narrow end of a very large shell. Lining this wall are shelves and nooks, unevenly sized. Some are a few inches square and contain single scrolls of papyrus. Others support crates bigger than coffins. They're made of a woody fungus, grown to meet requirements. There are no marks of carpentry or any of the postal rat's handiwork. 3 turns down the spiral and you feel you can't breathe. Time to leave. You can come back later. Maybe. You've gained 5 terror. An occurrence, you explore the lower basements. I'm now a basement custodian. Tell the postal rat about your basement findings. Troubled, but not surprised. They say that's been there since before we came. Before there were Londoners underneath. Before there was a dead letter office, there was something else. And they built the last layer on top of what was there before. And so on. When you press him a little further, he says, I've been down there. Didn't like it much. But I wanted to test my machine. Thought if I could handle some of the very old dead letters, that would be a good sign, you know? Evidence the machine was in working order, good enough sorting the categories and so forth. He pauses. There's letters down there that you set your hair on fire if you so much as look at them. See the bald patch on my left leg? That was a machine accident. Oh no! That singed right off as soon as I put my nose into one of them letters. You now have a tale of terror. You have an extraordinary implication. Familiar with the flaming letters. Ooh. Cultivating friendships with postmen hasn't changed because it's not higher than... Make a study what goes in the back room. I don't think I could do that. Descend into the basement with mirrors? That's insane. Why would I do that? And I don't have... I have a 15% chance of success. Feed your undeliverable letters into the sorting machine. Gleaming Hopper awaits. 52 categories. After prolonged whirring, the machine begins to distribute 7 invitations etched in gilt into the correspondence of the aristocracy slot, 2 oversized parcels probably containing books into the books tray, 1 stamped bronze tablet that drops into a clang with the bin marked First City. The postal rat watches all of this with an air of satisfaction. Nothing has changed. I've lost a dead post. Do it again. Okay. Send with a flame. I don't have a flare. I don't have a foxfire candle. Okay. I have to try once. Too dim. Your construction of fires and mirrors is clever, but insufficient. By the 12th spiral, you're walking in darkness, and there's no knowing what could be waiting for you before. There's part of me that wants to try this until I die. Assemble a port report. Most of the inhabitants were Londoners once, but that doesn't mean they are now. Cataloging all the peculiarities of the place takes many pages. The tailor who imports gilt buttons and braid just to be able to keep everyone's uniform in condition. The fashion of wearing a post bag with nothing inside. Wearing it open. Wearing it upside down, torn apart, or as a hat. Wearing it in any other way that'll show it doesn't have letters in it. Then there are the sitting rooms, papered in cancelled stamps. The bergamot pomegranate curd on toast. The commerce and rat corpses. The hatred of cats. The absolute custom against ever issuing a paper invitation for any event, no matter how formal. It's the familiarity. The not quite Londonness of the place that makes it all so odd. I want to go along the beach again. Collect material for that. I'll do that. How many can I carry? I'll take 3 this time. Take soundings. Perhaps there's some evidence of the great hollowness underneath the shores. Do it. Striking the ground causes the stones to shift and rattle. It is hard at first to hear anything more than that, but if you try long enough and strike hard enough, the whole beach shivers like the surface of a drum. The flotsam letters quiver and align themselves in concentric circles around the point of impact. The next wave brings ashore 5 or 4 times the usual freight. Fascinating. We're like a giant tuning fork. I say, if... That's interesting. Okay. Say, will this eventually do anything different? Yeah, this doesn't really give me anything. I'll do this one more time. Nah, if I keep doing that, I'll lose my mind. Explore along the beach. Yeah, I think we're done here. I think we're definitely done here. It's a lot of reading for that one. And I do have enough to continue a little bit further without getting killed, I think. But this is a very storied game. It's very much for if you like fluff text, if you like learning the lore of the area. It's like 90% lore, and that's really cool. So, if you liked all that, hit the like button. And as always, click the nut on your way out.